Hi, we're in Glacier National Park and we're on the Going to the Sun Road, and it is fantastic. It's everything they said and more. It's so beautiful and breathtaking.
The sun came out.
Ultra, I mean, it's like extra worldly. It's unworldly. It's really beyond description, I think.
I've never seen anything like it. It's the only thing it reminds me of is maybe the Alps, a little bit in Switzerland.
So we thought we'd take a little video, and I'm gonna turn this, get it out of here.
And the sun it's cloudy, and so the sun is shining on certain parts, as you can see, and it highlights the rock formations, and it's just breathtaking.
You know, in parts it looks like Yellowstone, but it's so much more dense with vegetation. And the mountains are way more breathtaking. As we drove up, you can see as I turn around here, I'm going to try and get in the shade of this tree so it doesn't affect the lens that much, but we drive right into the clouds. Turns foggy basically as you go higher. And what is our elevation, Amy? Approximately?
I think it's around 6,000, 63. And when we were up there, let that car go by. When we were up at the Logan Pass Visitor Center, we couldn't see anything. We were just in the clouds. I'm sure it was a beautiful view.
Yeah, there wasn't much to see up there because of the clouds. Yeah, they are clouds, exactly. Oh yeah.
Oh, we didn't even know that was there.
Here's a point we missed right behind us, kind of sneaking up on us. Up there. It's just like this everywhere for 21 miles. Now, the Going to the Sun Road is closed at Logan Pass, so we were only able to go 21 miles in of the approximately 50 miles of the road. So
because they have to do construction sometime or another.
We're at St. Mary's Falls. We're going to take a little hike. How far is our hike?
It is 1.1 miles each way.
And how much elevation change?
324 feet.
Down.
Is down, and then I think it was 145 up.
So what that means is on the way there we go up, we change by 145 at some point. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. You can't go down 340 and up.
It doesn't make sense.
You'd be jumping at the end. We're on our walk for St. Mary's, and there is a moose.
Our first moose.
I don't know if you can see that in the video or not.
Oh.
I've zoomed in as much
It's
as I
right
can.
in like there.
Yeah, I would point, but I can't see it on the camera at all. But we're looking and we're like, what is that? What is that? And finally got close enough and realized it's a moose. And he's walked out into that beautiful water. And he's just like getting a drink.
Can't blame him.
That's cool. Now here's something we hope you'll really like. This time for sure. There's my pretty wife. It was her birthday yesterday.
How old am I, John?
Just the right age.
Ha!
For me.
Sure is pretty here. It's like fall. Came early.
It is, because back home it's pretty hot yet.
Yeah, here it was 90 yesterday. That's Indian summer.
So 4 years ago, this area had a forest fire and burned down. You can see all the trees are burned, but you can see all the new growth coming up. And just like Yellowstone, it's kind of like new life.
Opportunity, yeah, new life.
New life. The old life goes, and the new life comes and takes its place.
The wheat.
Yeah.
There.
And it doesn't take long. You know, and people, when it burns, it's so heartbreaking. And it's a place you've gone and you associate with and you fall in love with, and it burns and you feel for it. But
It's a loss.
you realize it has to burn someday. It's gonna burn sometime.
Right.
And it just burns in sections, and it comes
And then it
back.
rains.
And then it rains and it comes back. By the way, speaking of rain, that's one of the things we've noticed about this park versus Yellowstone, that it's just so much more of a wet-like environment. And the forests are just so
the ground
dense
is
and
covered with foliage,
and thick.
whereas in Yellowstone it's not covered with foliage.
just a quick video. St. Mary's Falls. Here it is. Very nice viewing area. Nice little hike. Very easy. Going up is going to be, you know, different than coming down, but it's not going to be too bad. 400 some feet climb going back.
I bet people jump off this in the summer.
I'll bet they do. I'll bet it's chilly. Must have been something when it was on fire too, you know?
Yeah, I bet. Wow.
That's a nice, pretty little fall.
Yeah, it is.
We left the trail a little bit ago. It's just right up there. See those people behind Amy? And there's a moose down here. When we get to this bluff, he's still going to be a long way off, like 200 or 300 yards at least, if he or she, most likely a she, is even still there. It was indeed still there, and it was a beautiful bull moose. And he was calling to the female, which we couldn't see in the picture. It's unfortunate that you can't see it in our video. There's no matter how much we could zoom in to show it to you. But it was great. We're so glad we saw it and heard him singing to this female. I can hear it.
Me too.
He's been down there for quite a while because he was there when we walked
Somebody said
down
there were
the trail.
two others, but we didn't see the two others.
Yeah, well, let's hope they're not standing behind us. All right, let's walk back. Come on, let's get a view of this beautiful lake over here.
Exactly.
See these pine cones? So what happens with the fire, the pine cones open up and release the seeds that go down into the dirt and begin new trees. And they don't open unless there's a fire.
True. That's what we learned in Yellowstone.
We did learn that in Yellowstone. And thus, our trip to St. Mary Falls is through. Great hike.
Great hike.
Great for us.
Perfect.
So we're taking a tour on the big red bus here at Glacier National Park. Red bus tours, and
Highly recommend.
yeah, it's great. It's kind of nice for me, especially because I'm not driving, so I can just crane my neck, look at everything. And these are those original buses that they've retrofitted and restored. They have just like these at Yellowstone, only theirs are yellow, and it's a great time. We made a little stop here. It's been chilly. They are topless buses. Topless, but what's the date? September 20th? September 20th. I'm going to show you from the top here. So if you're going to take one of these tours, dress warm.
For sure.
And you go north. I mean, you go up. And
Into the clouds.
Yeah, into the clouds, and it was very chilly.
And they could roll the top
Up
over.
there. Yeah, if it starts to rain, they can put the top up.
Roll the top over.
But having that top open's half the experience.
Where are we, Peter? Our tour guide?
This is the middle fork of the Flathead River. We're on the old original bridge that people would cross to enter into the park.
Ah, and this river is the Middle Fork River?
Mm-hmm. Middle fork of the Flathead River.
Okay. Ooh, let me not drop you, GoPro. I like how the water is so clear, like Michigan water. So Michigan doesn't have mountains like this.
That's what I hear.
But the water is beautiful and cold. Wow. Oh, you're good. I like how the clouds are reflected in the water. I can't see that so much with my eye. I see the rocks, but on the GoPro, I see the clouds. And there's way more clouds.
This is McDonald Lake. This one's the largest and the deepest.
Lake, yep.
It's approximately 470 feet, I think is what he said. Largest lake in Glacier.
Going up to Avalanche Creek.
48-degree water most of the year, really clear. It's a lot like northern Michigan.
Yeah, this is all, the 2003 just stretched all up and down this section of the lake.
It's certainly like Canada. Village Inn
I think it's like
Lodge,
a little under $200 a night.
I think, is a great place to stay, is what we've heard. You get a great view of this lake, and you're in a perfect spot in the park.
I honestly don't know.
some giant red cedar trees. They call them Western red cedar. This is the oldest part of the park as far as the trees go. It's been over 500 years since there's been a fire. Way different. And this part of the park is a rainforest, actually. I was talking earlier about how dense the foliage was and different than Yellowstone, and that's why. And I didn't know that then, and I know it now, that this is actually part of the North American rainforest.
All the interior, and there's enough of like a seal. It starts to burn from the lightning strike. You can actually, there's enough heat and pressure in the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
This stuff, to us, it looks like Spanish moss. A little bit. Nowhere near as plentiful. Yeah, I will. Tree upside down. I'm just gonna walk and get it.
Do you always do the same color cedar, or do you do like all of it?
They rotated through all the
Yeah,
this time of year was just in the place
right. I know. That's all.
Yeah, throughout the summer we do the all days, the half days, special tours, yeah. We were working 5 days a week, 10, 11 days, 10, 11 hour days. Yeah. That's fun, make a lot of money.
That's
You
good.
drive around the park.
Do you get to see the engine of this vehicle, or does it not look any different?
I think I can talk with it when we get back to the
This is a little hike, little walkway from Avalanche Lake if you take another route. And this is the Avalanche Lake campground area. And you walk along here through this rainforest. We've taken the red bus tour. Our driver's gonna run back, pick up the bus, and then drive around and pick us up at the termination of this little hike, so that he doesn't have to wait for us all to slowly walk back, and we can move on. But it's really nice, really nice. I'm gonna get at this interesting root system in just a second. I just saw it. People are up there taking pictures of it. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that good?
Yeah, let me take one more. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Now I'm going to have you do a picture of us, too.
That is just so beautiful.
So you guys can find this video on Bee-a-Gypsy.
Bee-a-Gypsy.
Yeah.
Bee-a-Gypsy.
Bee-a-Gypsy on YouTube.
Okay. What was that cream we just bought?
Stand in the way.
This is the McDonald Lake Lodge. And it's super old. And pretty amazing. You take a boat tour here. It's like $19 for an adult for a 1-hour boat tour. You can rent those little boats like those people are taking off on. This is the Lake McDonald Lodge from the outside. Seems like a great family place to me.
It was Amy's birthday, and we had a birthday dinner at the Belton Chalet. Then also this rock looks exactly like a steak, which was amazing. Here's a spider we saw at a alfalfa farm. It was beautiful. Don't forget, be a gypsy.